All right, welcome to the last and final video of the Freedom Achiever Method. Now, you might find some additional videos being created after this to enhance the things that we're already discussing. But as far as the progress of the official foundation that we've developed using the Freedom Achiever Method, we are like, this is your final one, right? And so what was important for us was to really come back and look at the method as a whole and identify what we've discovered so far. We've discovered understanding the problem and the solution and identifying this in a meeting. We've understood the lead magnets and understanding what a sphere of influence is. Power 8, people you know and who you know matters, right? Because they know, like, and trust you already. And we discovered converting those leads into business and additional referrals, and how to go get more business from the people that you're already effectively communicating with on more than likely a regular basis. They already know, like, and trust you, and they love it, right? And so now what I wanted to do was I wanted to take you from that. If you can implement the method and create a really strong foundation utilizing the method, then what you're going to be able to do is you're going to be able to expand on it, right? So what do I mean by this? I mean, being able to grab leads and maximize your lead efforts in different ways. And if you can maximize your lead efforts in different ways, and when those leads come through the pipeline or come through your sources, what you're going to be able to do is you're going to be able to apply the method in converting those folks, right? So warm and cold outreach, content creation, free and paid, cheerleaders and lead getters, call to actions, things that are important for us to discover now in this video. Now, I warn you, this video is going to be intense. There's going to be a lot of information I'm going to throw on you because we're going to go through my top 10 lead sources, right? And going through the top 10 lead sources, each one of them, we're going to identify each one of them. We're going to talk about them, some deeper than others, right? And what I want you to do is be able to understand that as you go through these, you may want to come back to this video and you may want to understand the different lead sources, or you may want to apply different lead sources. Now, what I will tell you is this. You've got your sphere of influence, you've got your power 8, you've got your friends and family, you've got all these things happening for you already. And you're already communicating with these people. By this point, you should be full force foundation built, making your calls, sending your emails, doing the things that are necessary to stay connected with everyone that you work with, especially past clients and sphere of influence, right? What I want you to do is, once that foundation is steady and strong, don't come here and try to apply all 10 lead sources. Choose 1 or 2 lead sources that you can activate and perfect. And then when you perfect those lead sources and you build enough leverage around those lead sources to be able to handle the lead flow that comes in, then come back to this video, look at it again, and apply another one and another one and another one. And effectively, if you were to take your business as it is now, and you were able to build the foundation that we built out and everything we've been coaching on this entire time, and then come here and implement 10 more lead sources, imagine what your business would do. You would, 10x, 100x, like 1,000x your business tremendously. And so knowing that, I want you to take it easy with this, right? I want you to perfect these lead sources. And then when you perfect the lead source and the leads are coming in, I want you to then utilize the method, the connection, the emails, the campaigns, the meetings, the asking for business, the conversion piece, the 10-80-10. I want you to apply all of that to that lead source or that method that you're using to bring additional leads to the table. Okay? All right, so I beat that down. I really want you guys to focus on this. So let's go. Lead source number 1, referrals and word of mouth, AKA warm referrals. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what we have been building. This is the only method that can grow infinitely. Okay? Now, I'm excited about this because look, if we get down to it, referrals and word of mouth recommendations are powerful sources of high quality leads because they come with built-in trust and credibility. Does that make sense, right? Like, these leads, this sphere of influence, the word of mouth, the referrals, they already have a built-in piece of trust, right? This is not a cold call where somebody doesn't know you and you have to prove yourself. This is somebody else giving you credibility, or you reaching out to people that know, like, and trust you already. It's built-in trust, right? And so this is what we've been building the entire time. This is the only method that can just continue to grow, 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 grow. And by the way, the reason this is lead source number one is because you could literally do no other lead source that we talk about today and build a amazing and fantastic business using referrals, word of mouth, and warm referrals, right? That being said, if you're looking to scale and develop a larger business with multiple cities and multiple storefronts and multiple salespeople and multiple employees and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, you're going to need more than just this. Okay? Hope that makes sense for you. Now, cultivating strong relationships with existing customers is one of the key things that we really talked about. Like, the people that you have in front of you, you have to cultivate strong relationships with. Existing customers include past customers, past clients, right? And then you have to implement potentially referral programs to incentivize recommendations. So depending on what sort of business you run and what the laws around that business are, you could implement referral programs and incentivize recommendations, okay? And then leverage social proof and testimonials to encourage word of mouth, all right? So now, we're not going to dig into that much more. What do I mean by leveraging social proof and testimonials to encourage word of mouth? We're going to take people that we work with and we're going to ask them to give us testimonials. And then those testimonials we can put out as social proof that these folks really did enjoy working with us. And those things we can ask them to post on their social media and let them give you a testimonial on their social media so that they can come and ask you that social proof. And they'll come to the person, they'll say, man, you spoke so nicely about this person that you worked with. How can I get in touch with them? I want to work with them. Okay. So create that social proof, use those testimonials to your advantage. All right. Now, lead source number two, networking events and conferences. Okay. Networking events and conferences provide tremendous valuable opportunities to connect with potential leads and establish meaningful relationships. What do I mean by this? I love going to networking events and conferences, but I'm there on a mission. See, when you go to these events, you have to set very clear goals and objectives of what you're actually doing at this networking event or this conference or where it is that you're attending, right? Now, I get it. Some of you are going to go to conferences because you want to learn from the people on the stage, or you're encouraged to go because there's one particular speaker or two particular speakers that you just really want to go in on. But that conference becomes much more meaningful, much more valuable if you can connect with a lot of people while you're there. And then with connecting to those folks, if you're away at a conference or whatever, this means that you have opportunities for grabbing lunch with somebody, buying somebody a cup of coffee, maybe having dinner with a group of folks, and start creating relationships that you can maintain once you leave that conference, right? See, I love going to networking events and conferences because I'm on a mission when I'm there. My mission is, how many relationships can I develop and maintain for the long run so that I can earn more business, more referral business from these folks? Because if I can get them to know, like, and trust me in my area of expertise, or maybe my area of my market area, right? I'm in Miami. Let's say I go to a conference in Austin, Texas, and I meet a bunch of people there, and there's people there just like me traveling from Vegas or Wyoming or New York City or whatever the case is, and they have somebody for me that would like to work with my team here in Miami, Florida, for any one of my businesses. That creates the meaningful relationships, right? Then you take really good care of those clients. You make them look good for referring you. And that sets you up even further, right? And so remember, when you're at these events, it's not about you, it's about them. So when we said earlier, we said, utilize the Freedom Achiever method to grab these lead sources and put the actual method to work. Well, then what do you want to do? You want to talk to them, but you want to engage active listening and genuine conversation, right? You want to learn more about them. You want to know more about them. You want them to do the 80, right? So it's the 10-80-10. And so if you need to scroll back to previous videos and understand what the 10-80-10 is, go back and do it, okay? And then you need to make sure that you follow up promptly and maintain connections for post-event, right? So one of the things I like to do is when I meet somebody, right? So let's say I'm at a conference and I meet somebody, okay? You're going to ask for their contact information, right? Now, the contact information is easy because everybody has their cell phones, right? And now everybody's got like these apps that they're sharing contact information from, or they're tapping phones to each other, right? And so the iPhone has this thing where you can put head to head on it and you can trade contact information. The problem with that is that you'll never remember this person's name, right? Because they'll just automatically end up in your contact list. And then if they automatically end up in your contact list, how will you ever remember them? So if you're going to be doing this, make sure you do something important. You send text messages to each other right off the bat. Here's an even better situation. Take a selfie together, right? So this is a game changer. Many of you can just walk up to somebody and say, man, I'd love to trade information with you, so forth and so on. Trade information with them. Information passes from one to the other. And then you say, I'm going to text you right now so we remember who we are, right? Because we just met. That's not a disrespectful thing to say. They're going to forget you too, right? And then you say, hey, let's grab a selfie real quick so we can remember our faces, right? So get in front of each other, boom, grab a selfie, text it to them. They'll write back to you, hey, this is pretty awesome. And you build that up. That allows you to have a strong follow-up game because they won't just be in your phone as a random person. It'll give you an opportunity to go back through your text messages, add them to a potential CRM, label them or hashtag them appropriately. Like if I'm at the Austin event, right? Or whatever the event is called, I can hashtag them or label them appropriately inside of my CRM. And then it gives me an opportunity to have a strong follow-up game with them because I would put them on a follow-up campaign where I get to talk to this person, right? Consistently on a regular basis to ensure that I continue to build that relationship post-event. Good? All right, let's go. Lead source number 3. This is where we go content marketing and inbound leads. This is where you create content marketing to develop inbound leads and inbound lead flow. Now, content marketing attracts leads by providing valuable, relevant content that addresses their needs and interests, right? So if you are selling real estate, you are speaking about houses. You're not speaking about technology or any of that stuff, right? You're speaking about houses. Why are you speaking about houses? Because that's the product that you have to sell. And the service that you provide is putting this person into this house, right? And if you're going to put this person into this house, and you want this person to know who you are, right? You want them to know who you are so that you can help them get here. Okay, the only way, or one of the few ways, I don't want to say the only way, I apologize for that. One of the few ways that you can do that is by creating valuable, relevant content that addresses their specific needs and interests. So what's happening in the market? How can they get a home? Is there a hometown hero program? Is there a low income program? Is there things that can help somebody get into these different programs that might be of interest to your avatar or the person that you want to work with, right? Now, you want to create high quality SEO optimized content, right? Now, high quality right now has become almost synonymous with all content because the amazing thing is that we all have these crazy apps like CapCut and that can edit videos. all of our phones nowadays, like all the smartphones nowadays, if you have anything that was done in the last 3 or 4 years, and we're recording this in 2024, if you have anything that's been done in the last 3 or 4 years, then you know that your camera on your phone is a great high quality, more than likely 4K capable camera, right? And so creating high quality content is very easy to do. You can have great lighting. You can see here, we've got some lighting. I've got lighting above, to the left, to the right. I've got screens in front of me that bring another glow, right? All of these things matter for high quality content. Now, also high quality means that if I create this video, and we'll talk more about videos later, but if I create this video and then I transcribe it, and then I figure out the SEO keywords behind it, okay, that gives me an opportunity to put out this video in high quality video, okay? Then it lets me put out high quality content because I transcribed it and I can edit it. And I'm going to put the keywords to make it SEO optimized so that I can get the content out there and discovered, which is very important, right? Now, we're going to use lead magnets and gate content to capture contact information. So when I create, let's say, this video, if they want more information, they go to this website that captures their information, or maybe there's a form on social media that they fill out, or on your website as well, okay? That's what you want to do. You want to gain and capture contact information, all right? And you're going to nurture these leads through targeted email campaigns and personalized content to them. Now, what are some different types of content marketing? Okay, we're going to go through this, right? So you can do blogs. Now, there's blogs, and we just talked about video, vlogs, right? So blogs is you writing content out on a website or a newsletter or something like that. And vlogs is you doing video content, right? However, I very highly suggest that when you do vlogs, you transcribe and talk about everything we talked about before, okay? Transcribe that video, put the transcription in the page with the video, get the keywords right so that the content, the written content, is actually discoverable and people will recognize your videos or catch your videos, right? Then you can do email newsletters. Okay, that's another form of reaching out using content marketing. You can do interactive content such as quizzes and assessments, right? Like surveys, right? Then another one is utilizing infographics on social media and Google. So infographics. Okay. Another one is utilizing case studies and testimonials, right? So case studies. And this is one of my favorite ones, by the way, right? So this is one of my favorites because when you have case studies and testimonials, it means that the product that you provide or the service that you provide actually works. And there are actual people that exist that are receiving this information. They're getting these case studies, and the people can read the case studies or listen to the testimonials or read the testimonials or watch a video of a testimonial. I'm all about video testimonials, right? And when they get these video testimonials and these case studies, they can say, man, you know, the case study explains where the person was before they got there, right? So we've talked about, you know, where people want to be and where they're going, right? So this is where they were. They did this coaching or this training or this product or this thing, and they got here. And so I'm here, I'm similar to this person, and I'm reading this and I feel their pain reading this case study, and I want to be where they got to utilizing this product or this service. I want to do that too. Okay. And so case studies and testimonials are amazing. Ebooks and newsletters, right? Let me erase this. So ebooks, newsletters. Now, Dave, I don't have time to write a book. Look, ebooks are like short. They're 5, 6, 7 pages. They're typically on a very focused subject. They usually have like the top 3 things you could do, the top 5 things you could do, the top, couple things, like things to ask an agent, like things of that nature, right? And so these ebooks, man, they've become significantly easier to create because you have so much AI technology out there that can help you with subjects, that can help you with ebooks, that can help you with covers. You can go to Canva, you can create the books, you can create covers for your book, you can do all kinds of stuff like that. But the key to creating ebooks and newsletters is to use them to collect data. You don't give this stuff away without actually collecting someone's data. So it's one of those things where you create a landing page, and that landing page says, download my content, right? Download my new ebook, okay? And then if you download, and in order to download my ebook, I need your name, number, email, whatever, address, couple questions, whatever you want to add on there. Don't make it too difficult that they don't want to actually go through the process for your ebook, right? Like, I know it's a free ebook, but also you want people to actually download it, right? So ask some simple stuff, collect their data, collect their information, then utilize that data to reach out to them and create massive follow-up campaigns, automated jerk campaigns, automated emails, put them in your CRM, get them connected, give them a tag, give them a label so you can find them easily, right? Okay, now, the next thing is social media posts, right? Social media posts, especially offering useful tips and industry news and engaging content, okay? Then there's video content. Then there's webinars. Then there's podcasts. So let me dig into this because I went through those pretty quickly, and I went through them like that because they all kind of attach together for me, right? So social media posts. All right. There are different types of social media posts, and we're going to dig into this a little bit later, but there's long form, there's short form, there's graphic, like photos and stuff like that. There's video, okay? All of these things are to attention getters, right? They make people pay attention to you, okay? And so they're paying attention to the content that you're putting out there. And if the content, it has useful tips, industry news, engaging content, it makes people want to comment, right? So they'll comment, they'll like, right? With a little check mark, they'll like your stuff, they'll do that kind of stuff, and that will create engagement in your content. That engagement is what you're going to use to continue to provide them with consistent information so that when you come out one day and say, hey, download my new ebook, or register to receive my newsletter, or hey, would you like to get this, fill out this survey for me, or hey, check out my new blog, or look at this case study and testimonial. Your content has been pretty significant up until that point, and many people will take the leap and they'll jump in on something like that, right? Your video content, which we're going to dig into a little bit later as well, like I said, cell phones, lights, things like that. Tripods are super cheap on Amazon. There's ways to do it. Now let's talk about webinars real quick. So no matter what business you're in, you can host webinars. Excuse me, on a Zoom. You can host a webinar on a Zoom, and all you have to do is promote what you're going to be talking about in that webinar. The goal of that webinar is to get an audience and to talk to that audience about your particular subject, whatever it is that you're bringing to the table, and then ask them to do something. Call to action, right? So during that webinar, you're going to be pitching something. Whatever it is that you have, that you're selling, whatever it is, you're going to ask them to do something that engages them to you. Now, when you're doing these webinars, you want to create landing pages that collect their information so that you can consistently stay in touch with them and get in front of them through email, through text message, through calls. But these webinars are fantastic in so many ways because it gives you engagement with an audience, right? So when we talked about the three things that it takes to create a relationship, we said sight, sound, and touch, right? With a webinar, you're getting sight and sound, just like video, right? And so what you're hoping is that you get an audience, let's say, of 100 people. And out of those 100 people, that call to action is gonna be taken by, let's say, 10%. Those 10 people will meet you for coffee. And then those 10 people, out of those 10 people, 2 will do business with you, and maybe 4 will refer you somebody. And that's what you're looking to build. So remember, we said that everything that we talk about in these different lead sources and these different ways of gaining leads, we're going to always apply the method. It's important. It exists for a reason. I'm so vested in this that it exists for a reason, right? I believe in it, and you do too by this point, right? All right, podcasts. Podcasts are not that difficult to put together. We cannot, in this section, go through how to actually create a podcast and get one launched. Maybe I'll create a bonus video in the future for that. So just look for bonus videos. If it exists, great. If it doesn't, you're going to have to do the research, okay? Unless you're coaching with me one-on-one in a different setting, then that would be very different, okay? Now, with podcasts, what I really love about podcasts is that it gives you a platform to speak your message, but it also gives you an opportunity to invite guests to your podcast. And in my opinion, and in the opinion of many great coaches and leaders out there, the people that you invite to your podcast need to be one of two things. They need to either A, be influencers, that will give you credibility. If I can get Tony Robbins to be on my podcast, I now have credibility because everyone knows Tony Robbins. And so there you go. Oh my goodness, David Kurz got Tony Robbins on his podcast. I'm going to listen to his podcast forever from now on, because if he can get Tony Robbins, then he's going to get other people that are going to see that he got Tony Robbins, and they're going to be on his podcast too. And I'm interested in all this information. And by the way, Dave must be doing really great because he got Tony Robbins on, so I might want to do business with him while I'm at it. Does all of this make sense to you guys? I hope it does. You should be shaking your heads like this, right? Then there's B, people you want to do business with. Sorry, guys, my spelling is so much fun. Okay, those are the two people you bring on your podcast. They either are an influencer, they're going to give you credibility and validity, or there are people that you want to do business with. There's somebody out there that you want to do business with, and a very, very good way to connect with them is to invite them on your podcast or on your video or some kind of content that lets you talk about them. In the podcast, we still use the 10-80-10 rule. Okay, in the podcast, we're still using the 10-80-10 rule. All right. Now let's go to lead source number 4, because I'm going to hold you guys for a while with this video. By the way, we're going to go through 10 lead sources. We're on number 4 right now. If you need to pause and you need to go take care of something and come back to it, by all means do so. But I will repeat this, but you have to ensure that you get through this entire video and really listen to it twice, 3 times if you have to, and understand it in its entirety so that you can apply some of these things to your business, again, when you feel strong about your foundation, right? Okay, lead source number 4. Let's go social media platforms, right? Now, we know the social media platforms. We know all of them. I don't have to get into the Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, or X, or whatever is out there right now, right? What you want to absolutely know is that social media platforms offer a very vast audience and targeting capabilities. So the ad flow has great targeting capabilities. The people that you connect with, great targeting capabilities, right? People that you befriend and they friend you, so forth and so on. So it makes it a very effective channel for lead generation. All right. So what you want to do first is you want to identify the most relevant platforms for your target audience. Wherever your audience is, that's where you want to target. That's where you want to be most relevant, right? Next is you want to engage with your prospects through meaningful content and interactions. We talked quite a bit about meaningful content and interaction as well. So there's something that somebody told me once, and I've repeated it ever since. That you need to be on social media. You need to be interesting. Okay? But you also need to be interested. What does that mean? That means that you can't go to social media and just create a bunch of content and not really give a poop about other people's contents. Yes, I said give a poop, right? You have to be interesting. You have to create content that's engaging, that people actually want to listen to, or they want to read, or they want to see, right? But you also have to be interested. So when they comment, you're going to have to comment back on them. You're going to have to see their videos and stuff, or you're going to comment on them. Because the algorithms on a lot of the social media look for that kind of stuff. They want to know, are you just a content creator, or are you engaging with people? The more you engage in social media, the more the algorithm puts people in front of your stuff, allowing you the opportunity to continue to be interesting. Okay? Now, the next thing is, we can use social media to advertise, to reach new leads and really target existing ones, right? Like even Meta is the owner, Meta is the mother company of Facebook and Instagram, right? And with Meta Business, you can actually load up a list of your existing and past clients, sphere of influence and everything else. And if you give it name, address, I think it's name, city, state, email address, and phone number, if you put all that information on there and you load that into an ad, those ads will target those folks. So you could really stay in front of your people, right? One of the things that we suggest to real estate professionals is when they have a listing that they run target audiences to a neighborhood, but they also run one to a spreadsheet with all of their past clients, including the current clients, including the person that's selling the house. Because if you include them as well, the person selling the house will consistently see this ad coming up on their social media, giving you validity, credibility, and allows them to know that you're doing your job. You're doing what you said you would do, right? And this goes for everything. It goes for plumbing. It goes for, you do a job for somebody, and you're a great plumber, and you leave that job, everybody's happy, that person ends up on a social media campaign, right? And they end up on that list that you're going to upload into social media to run ads to, okay? Now, creating meaningful content has a tremendous effect on your ability to earn and gain new business. When people see your content and they find it meaningful, they want to be involved with you, all right? And you have to learn how to create content that has three major components, regardless of the type of content, right? Because we talk about written content, we talk about video content, long form, short form, all these different ones, right? But here's what I want you to do. I want you to understand that no matter what content you have to have three pieces. The three pieces are your hook, your info, and your CTA. Those have to be your three pieces. I'm sorry. Let me come back here. This is for the next subject. Hook, info, and a takeaway. What do I take away from this content that you're giving me, right? And so what's the hook? So you guys have been on social media and you see content, somebody's like, hi, my name is John Smith with John Smith, whatever, bicycles, right? And you're like, yep, bye, right? Because that's not relevant information that interests me. I really don't care what your name is, right? But if this same person got on there and said, you know, so and so fell on the side of a mountain and broke their kneecaps because they didn't have this. That's a hook. That's the first 5 seconds. You got 5 seconds to hook somebody. Okay. So what a hook does is it captivates the people as they're flying by, scrolling by, driving by, right? The hook is the first thing that's read. That's why captions are so important, because most audiences are flipping through social media on silent, no sound, right? And if you've got those captions right away, and there's a video of somebody like falling off the side of a mountain on a bicycle, and they could have been saved by this particular information that you're going to give, and the takeaway was going to be, I need to buy this thing, right? Like, that's what you have to focus on. So the hook is very critical, because this is what's going to get people to watch the rest of this. Okay. Now, same thing in written information. Your first sentence has to be meaningful enough to hook somebody in. So for instance, we have a couple of people that have gone through the program that have hit heights of the 400+% growth in their business. So if I'm running an ad to get people to come to this program, this 90-day program, what I'm doing is I'm saying 400 and something percent, whatever is 460% growth, or she just gained 400% growth in her business. What would that do for you? That's a hook, because people are looking at that and going, I want 400% growth in my business, right? It makes sense. Okay. So maybe I just read the rest of this, right? Same thing in an email, right? Like this happens in emails too. It's similar to the title of an email. If you read the title of an email and it engages you, you will more than likely open the information or open the email so you could read the information that retains your audience, right? So here you hook them, here you retain them, here you give them value. You guys with me? Right? So here you hook them, here you retain them, and here you give them value. What's their takeaway? What's their big takeaway, right? And so this is the same for video as it is for written content. This is the same for video as it is for written content, okay? So now that we have this, let's talk about something else. Long form, short form. Now, social media has really taken long form content, short form content to the next level, because they have been able to look at the long form video content that you could create, let's say on YouTube, or even just putting a video up on Facebook. And then they said, let's look at the average watch time for the person. And they realized that people don't really stick around to watch full videos most of the time, unless they're captured right from the very beginning or they're absolutely interested. The percentage of people that actually watch a short part of it and keep going is significantly larger than the people that stick around, right? So what did a lot of social media people do? They went to short form. So short form, even YouTube has YouTube Shorts. They actually call it YouTube Shorts. You've got Reels, you've got Stories, you've got all these different opportunities to create short form video, right? Now, the same thing is with major content. You can take major content and create long form content, written content, storytelling content, content that engages people for the long run, or you could take pieces of it and create short form content, right? Now, one of the things that I like to do is create long form content that leads to short form content. What do I mean by this? I like to create, let's say, a podcast that I record on video. So let's just call it a podcast video, right? And so I'll take a podcast that I record on video, and this podcast, let's say, is 45 minutes. And from those 45 minutes, I will go ahead and cut out about 5 60-second reels that I can also use for content creation, right? So now I have the long form and I have the short form with my 60-second reels, all from the same content. What am I doing on these reels? I'm pointing it back to the long form video. So if this captivated you, if this little bit of information that you got in these 60 seconds captivated you, then you might want to watch the full 45-minute version. You can do the same thing with written content, right? Create long form content, and you can use this long form content in multiple places, and then you could take pieces of it and create different posts that will lead people back to the long form content. So imagine this. If I created long form content in a blog, right? And then, or an email newsletter. And then I took the shorter pieces and I put these shorter pieces, right, on social media. And then that social media was designed to give a little bit of information and then link people back to the main blog so they can read the full content or the full entirety of the blog. This is a vicious cycle of creation, but it's worth every piece of it, okay? You have to put these things at different locations, right? So when I come over here and I do this, the reels, right? I'm taking this podcast video. Obviously, it goes out on podcast format where it's just sound, right? But the video goes out in YouTube. And then we take this short form reels and we put them on Instagram, and we put them on X, and we put them on LinkedIn, and we put them on YouTube Shorts, and we put them on Facebook Reels, and we build out these pieces to go into multiple platforms, right? So let's say I put these on 5 different social media platforms, and I do this 5 reels go out once a week, okay? And so that means within those 5 weeks, I would have put out consistent information. Even though it's the same information in multiple locations, it is multiple pieces of content being put out to the internet, okay? So if I were to record a podcast on a weekly basis, so if I did 1 weekly podcast, okay? And then I use that weekly podcast, let's say it was 20 minutes long. And that 1 weekly podcast gave me 4 short form videos. Okay, what can I do with these? Well, 1, look at how we're going to work this out. This is going to go to podcast for sound. Okay, it's going to go to YouTube for the full video. Okay, it's going to go out by email to bring people back to the YouTube full video or to listen to the sound podcast. And you may even host it on your website. Now, what does this do? It gives me 1 weekly podcast. That's 4 podcasts a month. 4 times 4 different places that I'm putting it gives me 16 pieces of long form content a month. Now, with 16 pieces of long form content a month, I get to do this. With the 4 short form videos, I'm going to put them on YouTube Shorts. I'm going to put them on Instagram Reels. I'm going to create Facebook Reels. I'm going to put them on X, and I'm going to put them on LinkedIn. Okay, so I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 places that I'm going to put these on. Because I have 4 short form videos from each weekly podcast, that means that I'm getting 20 pieces of content out per week. And if I multiply that by 4, because it's weekly, if I multiply that by 4 weeks in a month, that gives me 80 pieces of content per month, right? if I take the 80 pieces of content per month and I add it to the 16 pieces of content in long form, I've just created 96 pieces of content, 96 pieces of content for the month without doing anything else, by recording one video a week and creating short form videos from it and getting it out in multiple pieces. Although many of these pieces are the same, again, they're going to different places, different formats, different locations. Therefore, it creates a different type of engagement. Therefore, it is a different piece of content. That's 96 pieces per month of content that I'd be putting out to the world. If you put out 96 pieces of content minimum, how much do you think that would change your business? It might significantly change your business, right? And what you want to do, what's the purpose of all this? Like, Dave, why are we doing this, man? This is so much work. I get it. I get it. It is a ton of work, but you want to give and give and give. And this is something I read in a book. You want to give, give, and give until somebody's willing to pay for it. Right? So what does that mean? I'm going to give relevant content. I'm going to give information. I'm going to give until they ask me how they can pay me for my services. Until they come to me and go, hey, dude, I've been following you on social media. You give so much information, but this is what I need help with. Can I pay you to help me with that? And that's the entire purpose of this. You're going to create conversations. You're going to create relevancy. You're going to create DMs. There's going to be text messaging back and forth. You have to be amazing and consistent at being able to have those conversations, but this will work for you. And I understand you're not a full-time creator, right? Like, you're not a full-time content creator. But what you can do is do this. Like, there's no one that's watching this right now that can't create one 20-minute weekly podcast. And then you could leverage it, hire somebody on Fiverr, use AI technology, do something to get this edited, cleaned up, and put in the right places for all your stuff. All you gotta do is sign up for all this stuff once. And if you can have an assistant handle it, or you can have go to Fiverr and find somebody who will edit that video and create short form video for you, right? Like, it is 100% worth the time and effort that you put into it. And then you can schedule these things out to be posted on all the different locations and formats. Or if you're going to do this manually, you just set aside 30 minutes a day to post content and have your content organized and ready to go, right? Create the long form videos once a week. And if it's too much, do it twice a month, bro. Look, half of 96 is still a significant amount of content, right? So if you did 2 podcasts a month, okay, just 2 a month, and that gave you 4 short form videos for each one, right? At 2 podcasts, that'd be 20 locations times 2. That's still 40 pieces gone out there, plus 8, so 48 pieces, right? Like, this is an opportunity for you to grow the attention that you deserve to come your way so that you can do business with more people. All right? Now, let's go to lead source number 5. We're halfway there, folks. And I know this information that you're receiving is solid, and I hope and pray that you just follow the method and you utilize this stuff to get people, and you use the method to convert people, okay? So now let's go email marketing and cold outreach, right? So email marketing and cold outreach allows for direct communication with prospects. It enables you to personally engage and relationship build, right? Again, we keep talking about developing relationships, right? So these email marketing campaigns, they're designed to stay in front of people consistently. You don't know when you're going to be in front of somebody when they need you, right? So they might actually receive your email every single day and delete it every single day for years. But one day they're going to need you. And because you've been there so consistent, they're going to want to work with you. And so this is where the email marketing really, really works. There are some people out there, there are coaches out there, there are business people out there that will tell you that the close is in the email marketing, because you can talk to somebody, you can engage somebody, you can collect their information, you can give them a website, give them a video, but the consistency and stay in front of them through email usually is the close. That's what gets people to want to come back. Okay. Now, cold outreach, such as phone calls, direct messages, SMS, voicemail, social media interest groups, so all those things work. We mentioned just now social media interest groups. Like whatever business you're operating or running, you want to make sure that you're in social media interest groups that fall within that similar business, or people that are interested in that business or service, right? Okay. This is another inexpensive way to connect with more clients and have an opportunity to ask for more business. All right. You have to craft compelling email subject lines. We talked about hooks. Okay. And then give compelling content. Make people want to read your stuff. All right. Segment your email list based on demographics and behaviors, like how people are doing things. Okay. A/B test and optimize your open rates and click-through rates. All right. Build a list. We've discussed this greatly in the method. We've talked about your sphere of influence and things of that nature. Right. So have great lists organized. Try A/B testing emails with different titles and different subjects, right? Almost every system that you use for email marketing allows you to do this. It's not rocket science. Google or YouTube how to A/B test on a particular platform. It will tell you exactly how to do it. This will tell you which subject lines are working best so that you can continue to use those types of subject lines or repeat that email out to the same unit or the same people consistently, right? All right, now, lead source number 6, search engine optimization, or SEO, right? Now, SEO improves visibility and drives organic traffic to your website. That generates leads through targeted search inquiries, right? So when somebody is searching for your business or your type of business, the better your landing pages, offer pages, websites, all those things, the better they're designed and created, the better SEO they have, or search engine optimization keywords they have, the more searchable you are. It is the same thing on YouTube, believe it or not. So we're just talking about websites and things of that nature, but on YouTube, YouTube's owned by Google. The more you SEO your YouTube content, all that information, like you can upload a video, right? But there's this section where you could put in information. The more optimized that is in SEO, the more searchable your videos will be. Okay. Now, you can conduct keyword research. There's several different websites that you can do this on that will help you identify relevant search terms. Okay. You can optimize website content by using meta tags and URLs for search engines, right? So the URL that you choose is pretty important, right? Like buymystuff.com, right? Like that's too generic, right? But buymymotorcycle.com, like that makes more sense, right? That's why there's homes.com, cars.com, like those are huge SEO strategies right there, okay? And then you want to monitor and analyze this website traffic. You want to know your search rankings. You can search on this on Google and learn how to type in your website and understand how your SEO ranking is, and then refine your strategies. Now, you don't want to spend a lot of time trying to know and truly understand this. You want to use tools that are available to all of us to be able to do these things better. So what do I mean by that? I mean, if you have a website and there is content on it, go to systems like ChatGPT and ask ChatGPT, check out the following website, www.123.com, and look at the following information, copy, paste the information. And this website is designed for whatever your business is. And I'd like you to give me relevant SEO keywords for these things. And then what I'd also like you to do is rewrite this paragraph utilizing the best keywords and SEO strategies possible. Like talk to it like it was human, like you were just hired an SEO strategist, right? And it will give you back SEO optimized content that you can just copy and put right back on your website, utilizing the information that you provided it to create that SEO optimized content. Now, there are other things like Bing AI, right? There's Gemini. Gemini is actually Google's AI feature, right? Gemini is in competition with like places like OpenAI's ChatGPT, right? And so Gemini is going to give you amazing content if you have relevancy to utilizing Google SEO, okay? So these are companies like Bing and Gemini. They're rivaling what the best of the best of ChatGPT, okay? They can even go as far as writing code and giving you meta tags and helping you understand things. You can ask it questions. You could tell it to build stuff for you. It will write you website codes. Like, use these tools. You don't have to learn how to be an SEO strategist. Now, if this is too much information for you and you don't want to do any of this, outsource it. All right. SEO optimization could be outsourced. You have a website, you go to somebody who specializes in SEO optimization and get them to do it for you. Okay. All right. So next, let's talk about paid advertising, right? So now paid advertising, this allows you to get super targeted reach, right? Have immediate visibility in front of your targeted reach, and it'll drive leads to specific ad placement, or through ad placement, drive leads to a specific website, landing page, form, whatever it is that you put in front of them. Now, you can use and choose the most appropriate advertising platforms that work best for you. You have opportunities like social media, Google, Bing, Yahoo, and so much more, right? Yes, I said Yahoo. It still exists, and you can still search for things on yahoo.com, right? Now, what you want with paid advertising is you want to set very clear objectives and budgets for your paid campaign, right? So what is my objective and what's the budget I'm willing to spend? And then check on that budget and that objective so consistently so that you know if you have to cut that ad short, or you're going to let it run because it's working for you, or what you can tweak to make it better. Again, some of the ad content and some of the titles and things of that nature may be the problem. Take the content you created, go to ChatGPT, ask ChatGPT to optimize it for a Facebook ad or a Google ad or whatever paid advertising you're creating. It will rewrite it for you, bring it back, and try it again, right? And then you want to make sure you're consistently testing and optimizing the ad creative, the targeting, and the message that you're putting out to ensure that you're getting a maximum return on investment, okay? Now, paid advertising needs to point somewhere that captures leads. It is so important that I say this. Now, there are two pieces of advertising, right? All right. So there's your data collection or content collection, right? So let's call this data collect. Okay. And then the other side of it is just brand awareness. Now, with brand awareness, you're not always trying to collect data. Okay. With brand awareness, what you're trying to do is get people to recognize you. One of the techniques that we consistently use with paid advertising and using brand awareness is we go to Facebook or we go to Meta and we create a brand awareness ad that forces people to visit our website, right? We're not really asking for anything. We're introducing ourselves, where maybe there's a video, maybe there's just a quick flyer or something. And we're just getting people to recognize who we are, recognize our brand, recognize our faces, recognize our logos, recognize the website, click the link once. Now we've hooked them, right? Because if they visit the website, we can use something called a meta tag to know that they did that. And so when we're doing this, what we're doing is we want the most attention possible so that when we create an ad for data collection, right, that says, hey, by the way, now I need your name information, or phone number, email address, and everything, we can do that by retargeting. And when we retarget, all the people that got hit with the meta tag because they were interested in our brand and just kind of clicked on the link or watched the video longer than X amount of minutes, or whatever the case is, when we retarget them, the ad is significantly cheaper. It's much less expensive to retarget than it is to find new information or new people. Okay. Short form information collected, right? Like the video and the content of the ad says it all, and then you just got to collect the information. Okay. Now, content that points to sites, the site must also collect information. So if you're doing data collect, right, you want to make sure that you have a landing page with enough information to attract the person into giving you their data, right? You want their name, phone number, so forth and so on. And one of the other things you could do with this is once they've provided this, you can move them through a funnel, right? And so what does a funnel do? The funnel says, here's my data page. This is where I'm going to tell you a bunch of stuff. This page is going to have testimonials. It's going to have all the information on my product. It's going to have, you know, whatever special I have, or if it's free, or if it's just a free download, or whatever the case is. And then people are going to put their data in here, name, phone number, email address. That's going to lead to another page. Now, this is where we begin to create the funnel. That page is to say, oh my gosh, thank you for registering with us. But since you did that, we want to give you this. This is called the upsell, right? And then if you get this, and this is usually the low priced item, right? Like something that's 20 bucks, 19 bucks, $5, whatever it is. If you get this, right? Oh man, yes, I want that. I'll pay for that. That makes sense. I've already opted in to give them my information. So why not spend $19 on something cool? Since you did that, we've got this other thing that you could do as well. So thank you for doing that. But then there's this other thing. And what you're doing is you're collecting data, then you make a little money, you make more money, you make more money. And based on where they drop off, if you have meta tags, based on where they drop off in the process, you can come back to them with emails that say things like, hey, we noticed that you didn't buy whatever this is or register for whatever this is, right? And so here's the link. Come back before it's too late. Sign up for it. Remember what we said, the close is in the email, right? And so by doing these things, you're keeping people interested and invested, right? We've all been there, by the way. Every single one of you has clicked on a link that said, hey, here's this free thing, and then has asked you to pay for something that led to something else, that led to something else, right? So this, now, again, there are systems like ClickFunnels. There are systems like GHL, Go High Level. There are systems like that that will allow you the opportunity to build all this. Again, you could leverage this. If this is not your thing, and you can get an assistant to do it for you, hire an assistant that understands all this. If the assistant doesn't understand all this, the next thing you could do is just hire an agency to do it for you, right? And allow the agency to build the funnel, run the ads, do that kind of stuff, you know, get the brand awareness going, do the data collection, retarget people, get them to hit your landing page, try to get them to pick up your stuff or register for a consultation with you, or register for a listing presentation with you, or register to buy your bicycle, or register to upgrade the tires on the car, or whatever the case is, right? And so let the agency do the work. That's what they do, right? So I happen to own an agency, so that's how I leverage what we build out, because we have an ad agency. So through our ad agency, we're able to build all this stuff out, and we do it for our clients as well, okay? Now, lead source number 8, trade shows and expos, okay? Trade shows and expos. Many of you understand trade shows and expos because many of you may have sponsored some of these events, and you have put a table out with your information, and you've sat at some of these events. So trade shows and expos allow you to provides you opportunities to showcase your product or service, right? And engage with potentially qualified leads in a face-to-face setting, right? So now you're at this trade show, you've got this table, or you've got this booth, you've got your signage up, you've got roll-ups up, you've got your product up, and people that walk by and are interested in your product, they might step up to you directly and ask you for information, okay? That is huge. All right. Because those folks are right there in front of you, and it gives you the opportunity to develop a short, quick relationship with them. So you got know, like, and trust right off the bat. You've got all the three required things to create a relationship: sight, sound, touch, right? So this is an opportunity for you to be able to engage with these people, okay, and make them a client for the future, or make them a referral partner for the future. All right. Now, you have to plan and prepare effectively for these shows. You can't just show up with crap on your table. It's never going to work. You have to really think about what's going to attract people to come to your table. And then you have to really get your pitch in order, right? So now, if you've gone through the method, which you have if you're watching this video, and you've gone through the entire method, and that method has told you, have your offer ready? What's your 90-second pitch? What do you really have that you are offering forward? Then this should be brainless for you, because it should come out naturally when somebody walks up to your table. So make sure that you're designing an attractive booth, or your promotional materials on point. You're collecting and follow up on leads promptly post-event. So have something where people can register, whether it's a sign-in sheet, a log sheet, a QR code that they can do and register with you. Make sure that everyone that walks up to your table registers with you, or they can drop a business card in the box that you have, and you're going to say, everybody that drops a business card, we're going to give away a $100 gift certificate to Amazon or something like that, right? We've even gone as far as having a bottle of tequila. You would be astounded by how many business cards you can pick up if you put a bottle of tequila out as a gift, right, in a basket. It's absolutely incredible, okay? So some things to keep in mind. Again, trade shows are worthless if you do not do some of the following. Absolutely make an effort to connect with people. Don't just stand at the table and watch people walk by. Connect with people. How many of you guys have been to the mall and people have you're walking by those center booths, and people are like trying to spray you with stuff, or trying to massage your back with something, or, you know, offering you some makeup of some kind? Like, you can't get through the gauntlet of Macy's without people spraying something on you or trying to paint your face with something, right? You have to do that. You have to make an effort to connect with the people that are walking by that are doing this stuff, right? You have to make an effort to collect data. So that's where I said you have to register and get people up. You have to follow up. The game of follow-up has to be strong. You have to be able to do these things, and you have to be able to ask for business, okay? And then make an effort to apply the absolute method. Everything that we're talking about in the method, if you collect this data, what are you going to do with that data? You're going to put them on a campaign. You're going to make sure you call them, but are you going to meet with them? Are you going to get in front of them? Are you going to better understand their business, right? Are you going to, you know, focus on developing business with them? Are you going to ask them for referrals? Are you going to give them your offer? Are you going to do the 10-80-10 with them? Like, all of this stuff is super critical. So make sure that you apply the Freedom Achiever method, the FAM, right? Make sure you apply it to every single person that drops their business card or registers with you at these trade shows. Again, the trade show is worthless if you don't connect, collect data, follow up, and apply the method. Okay? All right, lead source number 9. Customer referrals and testimonials. So we talked about this a little bit earlier, but let's dig in a little bit, because customer referrals and testimonials are the most powerful endorsements that inspire trust and confidence in potential leads, right? Now, actively soliciting actively soliciting feedback and testimonials from satisfied customers. Absolutely have to do that. The craziest thing you could do is have an excited, satisfied customer and not ask them to give you feedback or a testimonial. Video testimonials are huge, okay? But Google reviews are just as great sometimes, right? Because people will Google you and they'll see you have 5-star rating, right? You know, if you sell something on Amazon, like I have books on Amazon, and people leave reviews on them, it gives my book validity, right? So this is the same thing. Somebody leaves you a 5-star review on Google or Yelp or somewhere else, wherever you want to have reviews placed, okay? Those are powerful, powerful endorsements for you, all right? You need those testimonials to be in place. Sometimes you can offer incentive to customers to refer new leads and provide testimonials for you, right? Like, hey, if you send us this, I'll send you a free t-shirt, right? Like if you do this video for me, I'll send you a free hat, like something like that. It's worth every penny. Why? Because you get to use these testimonials over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. Okay. All right. So now the Freedom Achiever method. Let's talk about this for a second, because we're right now, we have spent so much time talking about customer referrals, and now we're tapping in some testimonials. The Freedom Achiever method was designed to create raving fans, right? Like the people who want to refer you business, right? So it should not be very hard for them to leave you or give you a video testimonial, right? There are ways that you can do this. You can ask them to record. Sometimes you risk quality there, because if you send a message to somebody, say, hey, can you record this testimonial for me, and like just make it 60 seconds. A lot of times you might get this like super wobbly, low quality, 2-minute, like 10-minute testimonial when you really just needed 60 seconds, and they could have done it on a tripod, but you're expecting too much, right? And so if you ask them to record, sometimes you can risk quality, okay? You have the equipment and you go record them. Okay. Now that may make some folks shy, right? Like some folks don't like to be in front of the camera. They don't like to do these kinds of things, right? And so on top of that, you're asking them to give you a testimonial about your business right in front of you, right? So that could make some folks shy. You could send them your video person. Okay. Now, if you have a video person that you use, you can work out a deal with this video person that they will go to the person's house or work or whatever, quickly set up a setup, mic them up appropriately, have them give a 60-second testimonial, teach them how to prep the person for it, and get it done and walk out. 60 seconds of work. Okay. And you could just ask them to send you back the raw video and you'll edit it, or you can have them edit, caption, and do all that stuff for you, right? This is the easiest and most convenient to the customer, okay? So again, if you ask them to record, yes, that's easy, but you might risk quality, right? You have the equipment and you go record them, you might make them a little shy. They won't be as outgoing as you want them to be in their video testimonial. Or you could send them your video person and make it super easy and convenient for the customer, or for your consumer, or for your past client, whatever it is. Make it super easy for them, make it super high quality for you. Right? Another option is that you can have them come to a studio and record it in a professional setting. But this is more expensive, less convenient for the consumer, because now they got to take time out of their day to come and record in your studio. And that doesn't always work out so great, right? So where should these go? Where should these testimonials, these reviews and things like that go? They should go on Google. They should go on YouTube. They should go on your website. They should go on landing pages that you create. They should go on funnels that you create. You should turn them into ads. These are all different places these should go. They should go on social media. They should go anywhere that people are going to see them. And especially anywhere that you're actively engaging with people for business, right? So if I'm on Instagram consistently and I am engaging with people on Instagram to do business with me, I'm going to take my testimonials and I'm going to put them in there, okay? All right, lead source number 10. This is your final one, right? This can work for most businesses, doesn't work for all businesses, but we'll figure this out now. Partnerships and affiliates, okay? What you want is lead getters, cheerleaders, people that are going to consistently send you business, but they're getting something in return for it. And so these could be customers, affiliates, employees, agencies, right? All these different types of things. So agencies, they're getting paid to be your biggest cheerleaders, right? Your employees are getting paid. If you create the right culture, they'll be your biggest cheerleaders, or they're getting paid to be lead getters, right? So you hire salespeople onto your team. An affiliate program means that you have a program in place that if somebody sends you business, you will pay them a portion of that business that you earned, right? So if I have these glasses and they cost $100, and I tell people, and I create an affiliate program that says, if you refer me somebody to buy these $100 glasses, I will give you 20 bucks, right? And so now you create a gang of affiliates. You can have thousands of affiliates pitching your program or pitching your glasses or pitching your product or pitching your service. And they know that they have their own affiliate link. And when that order goes through their affiliate link, it's going to be recognized by you, the company, and you're going to say, oh, John Smith got these glasses sold because he shared his link or he brought them directly to me or whatever the case is. And I owe John Smith 20 bucks, right? And then of course you have your customers or your consumers. They can also be your lead getters and cheerleaders. They can be that as well, right? So partnerships and affiliate programs leverage your existing relationships and your existing networks to go and generate more leads through multiple referrals and collaborations, right? Now, you want to identify potential partners and affiliates with complementary offerings, right? Like, hey, come join this free webinar. We're going to talk about this, right? And by the way, we're going to talk about this. And if you bring somebody with you, we'll give you a discount or we'll give you a commission or whatever the case is, right? So for instance, if you're watching this right now, that means that you're one of my consumers, one of my clients. If you refer me someone to come into this 90-day program and they sign up because you gave them your testimonial personally and you brought them to the table, that makes you an affiliate of mine. And because you did that, I will pay you a commission. By the way, this stands true. This is not an example. So if you're watching this right now and you're super excited about all this training you went through, I need you to refer this to somebody else. And that person will sign up and pay for the coaching, and you will earn a percentage or a commission off of that coaching. All you have to do is put them directly in front of you. That's it. Don't give them my website. Don't do it. Put them directly in front of me so I know exactly where they came from, so that in my CRM, it'll say that you referred this person to me, and that person, when they sign up, you're going to earn a percentage of what they paid to join whichever program they decided to join, right? So identify those potential partners and affiliates, okay? Establish a mutual beneficial agreement and incentive, right? So do you think that by me offering you an incentive for bringing somebody here creates a mutual benefit for both of us? Yes, I get a new client, I get a new coaching client that comes into my 90-day Freedom Achiever Method program, and they pay me for this program. And then mutually, you get to benefit too, because you gave me a name, I closed the deal, and then I sent you money for giving me that name. Mutual benefit, right? And then you want to track and measure performance, right? So you can optimize potential partner efforts, right? So like if you've got one person that sends you one person every 2 years, you got one person that sends you a person a month or two people a month. They're consistently sending you people and they're your biggest cheerleaders and they love making that extra cash, right? Then you want to optimize on that performance. You want to optimize on that partnership. You want to help that person optimize their efforts. So you want to get together with them and you want to discuss how they can do more of it, or what else you can offer them, or what other products you have that they could make money on. Those are the pieces that you want to talk about. Now, again, I don't know that this works for all businesses. For instance, in real estate, you can't share your commission with somebody unless they are also licensed. So it makes the pool of people quite a bit smaller, because if consumer refers you somebody, you can't always give that person part of your commission because they might not be licensed. It would be illegal, right? What you could do is say, hey, listen, since, when you're ready to sell, since you referred me 3, 4, 5 people, I'll charge you a little bit less commission on my side. Save you some money when you're ready to sell because you did this for me, right? So, excuse me, nothing illegal about that, right? But you just can't pay them a portion of your commission unless they're a licensed real estate professional. There might be other businesses like that, financial, lending, banking, different things like that, life insurance. I don't know if those things, you know your business, your rules and regulations, so make sure you follow them, okay? Now, guys, I hope that you got some great takeaways from this. Let's go through the top 10 real quick. I'm gonna scroll back. So number 1 was referrals and word of mouth. your warm referrals, right? Number 2 was networking events and conferences. Number 3 was content marketing and inbound lead flow. Number 4 was social media platforms. Number 5 was email marketing and cold outreach. Number 6 was search engine optimization, or SEO. Number 7 was paid advertising. Number 8 was trade shows and expos. Number 9 was customer referrals and testimonials. And then again, number 10 was partnerships and affiliates. All right. I want to encourage you to diversify your lead generation efforts. All right. Again, I'm going to say this again. You cannot build the Empire State Building on water. You need a foundation. And so what we've done by giving you the Freedom Achiever method is we have helped you build a solid foundation for your business. That's all the Freedom Achiever method was. Okay? And so this Freedom Achiever method gave you this crazy solid foundation, and now you can build upon this foundation whatever it is that you want. Okay? You could build whatever type of business you want on this foundation. So keep that solid foundation super, 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 super strong. And then I encourage you to do the different types of lead generating opportunities that you have, okay, that can bring business to you, and then use the Freedom Achiever method, the entire method, to close them, to convert them, and to get referrals from them. Okay? Convert, close, and referrals. Convert, close, and referrals. I know I wrote it backwards here, but convert, close, and referrals. Okay? That's what you want. And so I want to encourage you guys to do this at a very high level. And I want you to always remember that you cannot build a strong business without a strong foundation. And so when you're watching this video right now, you're reaching the end of the Freedom Achiever method, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's the end of coaching. So if you're watching this video right now, there are other coaching opportunities for you with us. And so reach out to me and let's discuss those coaching opportunities. It could be an additional 90-day program. It could be one-on-one coaching with me. It could be different things that we would bring to the table to offer you a tremendous opportunity to continue to grow. All right. Now, solid foundation, use your method, get your different lead flows in place, but do not engage in trying to accomplish any of this if you haven't done the Freedom Achiever method at its full volume, okay? Because what you're going to do is you're going to have a cracked and incomplete foundation, and you're going to be trying to build other lead sources on this foundation, and it's not going to work for you, and you're going to just get frustrated, and it's going to be a wheel, a cycle that you're going to be going through like a hamster in a wheel, okay? Just trying to figure it out all the time, when all you had to do was follow the Freedom Achiever method, follow it by the T, get that really becoming habitual and strong and consistent, and then go do these other lead flow things. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm so excited that we've been able to work together this long. If you still have time in your 90 days where you're ahead, you're watching this video and you're ahead, make sure you're engaging in the weekly coaching sessions. Make sure you're bringing your business to the table. Make sure you're discussing it with us at a high level. I'm proud of you that you made it this far. I'm excited to see how your business grows, and I'm looking forward to your video testimonial. I will ask you for it. All right, guys, see you soon.